Yeah, Luke was over there like, they didn't show me enough campaign footage, and I'm not interested in multiplayer.
The more I think about it, I think I actually really agree with you, Brett.
What is it?
On what I hope you're about to say.
No, you tell me.
IP is king.
Yeah. Oh.
IP is king.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All the grenades. You got heat wave and camo probably.
No, I think I camo. I use camo.
Tyler, that's strong. What? It's good. I hadn't taken a I hadn't taken a test sip yet. Trailer roundup. And Luke's gonna play with more cars.
Vroom vroom. The shot of the like creepy old lady during the elevator bit got me very excited.
Dude, Mitchell's vs. the Machines is awesome. And I'm like, what even is this movie? How have I not heard about this?
I also want to give a shout out this week to my wife, who got me this awesome A24 book.
Make it rated R and release it on Hulu.
The next announcement.
Do it, you cowards! Does Luke
not
want to burn the books? That's the real question.
I'm not anti-book, but it's really hard for me to read books.
Dune Part
You
1.
can't ask me to change my expectations moments before the movie begins.
We do it for every movie. We say,
yeah.
what if it sucks?
What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another live episode of the What the Fanboy Show.
I still look in the middle for the camera.
It's just me and Luke tonight.
Yeah, Tyler's sick. He texted us 911.
Poor boy.
He's like, good.
Well,
Since the vomiting or through the text message didn't sound fun.
no, unfortunately. But he'll be, hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yep.
So yeah, Tyler, if you're watching, I hope you
Get
feel
better, man. Tell your kids to stop getting sick and so you don't get sick.
I'm kind of surprised that you weren't like, I'm kind of feeling bad too. I've got a case of the Olympic fever.
Well, I do. I just have them on right here.
You're just watching them as we do the show.
I watched them all day, so I have seen most of the stuff they do show in primetime.
Oh, because they do it's a lot of replays.
But that being said, if we weren't doing this and I was at home, I would have this on full blast volume. I wouldn't skip a thing. I would not be doing anything else. I probably wouldn't even be on my phone.
Yeah.
I would be watching it like it was for the first time. It's the best time of the year, and it only comes every 4 years. So it is a great time for Luke right now.
Hooray for the Olympics.
Yeah, I love Olympics, man.
Yeah.
It's
How
just
have
the best.
you felt Team USA's been doing thus far?
I think they're doing good. I mean, I don't think I'm a good judge of that or not.
That's fair.
I'll say this: what is on primetime tonight, I think, is very exciting. Because I watched it live this afternoon. There's some great competition.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. This is like my Super Bowl, and I feel weird saying that because my team has won 3 Super Bowls in the past 5-6 years. But like this is my favorite sporting event. I love how it all comes together, and these athletes who play sports that are not popular or even addressed as a sport sometimes. How they're putting everything into this passion they have, and sometimes putting like leg and limb like on the line. And I just think it's so awesome, and to watch all the athletes of different countries come together it's just the best. I watch the Olympics and I just cry every night. And I do not care. I think it feels amazing.
That's great. Well, our viewer, or some of our people in chat, are also watching the Olympics. Baroque says, I spent 3 hours watching women's rugby. It was great.
Oh my gosh. I have not watched a lot of rugby,
but
discovered it this
It's
year.
been good this year.
Dude, it is so much fun.
Yeah.
And let me just say, like, I feel like there's always talk about how women can't play football.
Right?
Why? Like,
No.
the evidence is right there. These girls are out there, like, killing each other, and they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're fine. So
And rugby is just like a different beast than, I don't know, anything else, any
Yeah.
other sport.
And I don't fully understand, but man, I'm fully invested.
It's so fun to watch.
And the women's U.S. team is really good.
Oh.
So they made it to the. Oh, maybe I shouldn't spoil stuff, but
They made it somewhere.
they
They made it to the Olympics.
They did some. Yes, they made it to the Olympics, and they're competing still.
Maybe.
No
And then
spoilers?
JT is just there for all the satanic stuff. LOL. Which
Dude.
I didn't catch some of that controversial things during.
I'll tell you what.
during the
Christians
intro.
really frustrate me as a Christian because they overreact to everything.
Everything.
Like
Yeah.
I saw somebody post during the opening ceremony. There's a bit where there's a statue of a horse with a rider on it,
Oh sure.
and the person on the horse has been throughout the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in all these videos. Kind of looks like a Assassin's Creed character.
Yeah.
They're carrying the torch, and then this horse runs on the water. And I saw somebody post, and they're like, "This is insulting to Christianity. Only Jesus can walk on water." And I was like, it's supposed to just look cool. Like, we don't need to do this for everything.
No.
Like, everything was satanic
Everything's got to be a culture war
or
issue.
degrading or something to Christianity. And it's like, no, it's just the French.
It's just,
It's just French.
also it is very
Cool the jets a little bit.
Yeah.
Just try and enjoy art. Not
JT
saying-
also says that he used to play rugby. JT, I did not know that.
That's awesome. I
You
love
got
it.
an offer to play at OU, but then you didn't.
You went to
Well, why not? That's okay. That's
awesome. I love it.
Yeah, Baroque says some of the girls on the rugby pitch would absolutely blow up a football DB.
Dude, Jason Kelsey arm wrestled one of them and like barely won and definitely was holding onto the table.
Yeah. I would say they're built different, man.
Dude, those
And it's fun to watch them in the limelight.
the rugby girls and then the gymnast girls, I just know could kill me at anything that
Just
they do.
in a single. I just.
No, it doesn't. Not even in a fight. Just anything like
Sure,
remotely
sure.
athletic. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
they'd just be like, "Yeah, I can beat you."
They would just beat you. I was gonna say, like I too feel like
They're
with
so
a single
strong.
blow from anything, right? Like a leg. If they kicked me, I'd probably die.
Dude,
If they hit me with their hands, I'd probably just.
I think their legs could kick down
Collapse.
the wall of Jericho.
Whoa!
Whoa! Can I
Oh,
not make that reference?
You can't make that
Is
reference.
that too
man.
far?
No,
Oh
it's
my
too
goodness.
Far, too
Am I French?
far.
But
Oh.
the opening ceremonies, though, like I don't think they are that good. I think they are pretty boring. But hey, it's Olympic time, baby. Let's watch some sports.
Yeah, agreed. We're here for the competition. The opening and closing ceremonies, those are like
It's a fun little ritual.
icing, a cherry
Yeah.
on top, but it's not the meat and potatoes of why we're
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
absolutely. Well,
Which is
cool.
why it's really cool. You get a really good one, like Beijing.
yeah,
We're
that's
just
true.
like, oh
No,
wow,
you're
this
not
is
wrong.
really cool.
You're not wrong. Any predictions on like number of gold medals we're gonna get this year?
No.
Let's see.
I'll predict that we'll get the second most gold medals, but we'll have the most overall medals.
Can I see United States at the Olympics? That's a lot. I just want 2020.
I think currently U.S. has 30 total, but Japan is winning in gold.
So in the 2020 Summer Olympics, the U.S. had 39 gold, 41 bronze, and 33 silver. So are we gonna do better this year?
I'll say yes. You know what? I'll take the over.
I hope so too.
I believe in us.
Yeah, I think we have. Man, you know what was a ton of fun to watch 2 nights ago? I think fencing.
Dude, yes. Dude, I can't follow that at all. without those
They
lights.
move so fast.
And like they're celebrating, they just know instantly. We went 1-2 in the one of the versions of fencing.
Yep.
That was super cool.
Yep, very cool.
She went back to back. Shout out. Beat the French at their own sport. Suckers. I think that's French. All the terms sound French.
Well, very cool. Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about Olympics probably next week as well, but having
Oh yeah.
having a lot of fun.
It's all I'm going to do this week.
Yeah. Well,
Not all I'm going to do, but all I want to do.
yeah, that's fair. Before we get into our trailers, because I think, like, realistically, our trailers, San Diego Comic-Con, and news, it's all going to kind of blend together this week. And we don't have a full review because Luke hasn't seen Deadpool. Tyler has, but he's not here. So we're going to save our full review of Deadpool for next week. I have seen Deadpool. I'm just going to give some brief impressions of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Enough said.
It's about, so I think we talked about it either last week or the week before, my kind of prediction on, like, it would probably be fun, but I wouldn't enjoy it. And I think that pretty much remains true. It's about what I expected in terms of, it's less of like it's just there to have fun. It's an excuse for Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman to get together and swear a lot. But outside of that, like, it's just not really anything of substance. Yeah, JT, you probably do need to be here to be the Deadpool hype man, because I was not terribly impressed. It didn't help that I also, full disclosure, like, had a headache 10 minutes in and just did not go away. So that was definitely made the experience less pleasant. I do think they had some fun cameos. I do think they had some fun set pieces and some good action. There was just not enough in between those moments. I didn't think the comedy was, out of all three movies, I think it's the least funny. But it's not trying to be serious. It's still trying to be a Deadpool movie. Like, it's trying to be funny 100% of the time. 99% of the time. There's maybe one moment where it's like, we're going to be serious for a second.
Let's get serious, boys.
But yeah, I probably give it a straight to streaming, unless you're like JT and a hardcore Deadpool fan. I don't think there's anything in this movie that's like, go watch it in theaters. And I don't even think that most of it is that good, like, for me to say it's worth a movie ticket in 2024. If you have Regal Unlimited like we have, and it costs us 50 cents a convenience fee to buy our ticket on the app and go see it, that's maybe worth it. Yeah. Boo, JT, I know. He gives it he's saying booyah. JT gives it a booyah. Then maybe it's worth your time, but otherwise I would just say, like, unless you're, I don't even feel like it's a moment like the Avengers movies, especially the last two, were such, like, cultural, everyone's talking about the thing, and you want to be there and you want to experience it. Like, the only thing people are going to walk away from this really talking about are the cameos. So I don't even think it's like there's not a good reason to go see it in theaters to be a part of the conversation, because it's not like it's anything groundbreaking, game-changing for the MCU. On that note, I will give it like a, points for not being super tied into the MCU. It is, but it's not like you don't have to watch all the other MCU movies or the most recent ones to really understand what it's doing. So yeah, straight streaming for me. My guess is a lot of people will probably give it like a fanboy worthy, because it's like, it's fun if you like Deadpool, like woo. But I think you really have to be like ready for that. It is what it is.
It is what
I don't know.
it is.
Sometimes a movie knows what it is and does that thing well, and I praise it. I give props for that typically. And I, for whatever reason, just don't feel like I'm going to be as generous with Deadpool for whatever reason. I think clearly it's been popular. It's made a lot of money even over the first weekend. So, it doesn't, quote unquote, need your support, right? Like, this isn't Kevin Costner's Horizon that's just gonna like belly up if you don't go see it in week 2.
Oh, it bellied up.
But yeah, I mean, it's even more gratuitous than the first or the second one. They amped it all up, and if you're into that, you might enjoy it. If you're kind of on the fence, I'd just say wait. But
So I should wait, is what you're telling me.
you're not gonna go out and see it next week because of the Olympics, so maybe
With how long movies play in theaters now, I might miss it. I feel like
there's a chance.
we'll see.
There's a chance.
I don't remember when the Olympics actually end.
Oh yeah,
I'm always just focused on the start. So
16 days, right?
mm,
I think it's.
I
think it's 2 full weeks of.
I don't like to think.
I think
about
it's
that.
2 full weeks of athletics. So it's like the opening ceremonies is one day, 2 full weeks, and then closing ceremony. So it'd be on a Sunday. Whatever is
Yeah, so that probably wouldn't.
2 weeks from now. Deadpool, it's gonna make enough money. It'll stay in theaters for a while. They'll try and milk that run, for sure.
Milk it.
Oh, real quick before we move on, JT says, Luke, I would suggest set your expectations for this movie the same as you did for the first Deadpool movie. Don't expect it to be a groundbreaking thing. It's going to be fun with fights you've wanted to see in the X-Men like movie run. Like they're, it's Deadpool and Wolverine fight like 3 times. So
Dude, I saw a thing
it's
that
like Batman v Superman, but they constantly fight.
I think I
The
saw
Honda Odyssey bit's great though, by the way.
the
I do love that.
I saw I don't remember the exact question, but somebody asked Hugh Jackman about like the old X-Men movies and like if this one was better than any of those, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No." And I couldn't believe he
Like answered like that?
Yeah, he's like, "No, this one is the best." It's like, okay, well, Logan isn't technically an X-Man movie. It's just a Logan movie. It's like, we still have First Class and Days of Future Past sitting right there. It's like, buddy. What?
Yeah, he was a yeah, I don't know. Those weren't as much his movies to lead, so
Yeah, but they were
maybe
X-Man
I
movies.
know.
He was pretty important in Days of Future Past. He was the person in the
trying
past.
to give him an out. Well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see when I see it.
Yep. Anyways, we'll have a deeper dive next week when Tyler's back. Maybe I'll have
He gave it 3.5 stars
on
Letterboxd.
Letterboxd. So I know he likes it more
Yeah.
than me. But yeah. No, hopefully we'll have a good conversation about it next week.
Yep.
All right.
Trailers?
We can kind of talk trailers, but again, some of these trailers go into like the San Diego Comic-Con, and so we'll talk trailers specifically first, and then we'll talk, SDCC news and some of those announcements that weren't technically trailers. So
Yeah.
yeah, Luke, what do we got for trailers?
Early in the week there was earlier we got a new Joker trailer.
Yeah.
Folie à deux. We got to see, and they've been playing short versions of it for the Olympics a lot. We got to see some singing.
Yep. It's a musical. Remember.
Listen, as a person that doesn't like the first one that much.
This does absolutely nothing for
This
you.
does absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It makes me just kind of unexcited to see it, and like I know all movies are cash grabs, obviously. I'm not here to talk about that nonsense conversation. But this feels just like a cash grab. It's like, oh, made $1 billion, we have to make a sequel. We'll make it a musical, and we're just going to use comic names in places, but it has nothing to do with the actual comic.
Yeah.
Like, in the first one, I couldn't stand how back and forth it was on its comicness. It's like, well, we have the Waynes in this, and we're in Gotham.
Right. We're going to show
And,
a very young Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
have, like, this interaction.
and how Joker, like, causes the death of the Waynes. It's like, did we
Yeah.
need that?
Right.
And then this one, just kind of ignoring everything about Harley and doing their own thing. Yeah, I know it can be an Elseworld, whatever. Do your own thing. But nobody's done that story. So why not do it?
Yeah. No,
And
fair.
no, she's just a crazy person in the Arkham already. It's like, okay, well, that's kind of boring. At least I think it's boring.
Sure. No, I think I'm still where I've been at, which is, I like it when studios take swings. I think a musical is a swing, as much as it may feel like Joker 2 certainly feels like a cash grab sequel, right? I think Joker 2 as a musical is at least, there's part of that is a swing. Musicals historically do not do like that good.
Yeah, only like 4 more months till we get to watch Wicked bomb in theaters.
I do, man. I have hope. I'm hoping for Wicked, man. The more I keep seeing those trailers, and I keep liking it more and more.
I'm hoping Wicked is like iconic enough that people will go see it.
I think it might be.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think it
and
might be.
Hopefully it's good too.
Yeah.
Like they I think it looks really good, but they could do a bad job.
Yeah.
And if they're still sticking with the part 1, part 2, that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing.
Just make it a 3-hour movie. Come on, do it.
Okay, well, yeah. So that's probably still a sideways thumb for me on Joker.
Thumbs down until I see it and I'm impressed by the movie.
Never know.
Next trailer, Transformers 1. This is the animated prequel.
Mm-hmm.
The first trailer came out, like a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And I think we were all kind of on it.
Yeah. It's like,
this looks awesome! Bro, I am so on board. Like, they totally flipped the switch with me on this one. I think the animation looks awesome, especially when it's in, like, full motion and those action sequences.
mm-hmm.
And I think this is going to be really cool.
I think this has the potential to be a lot of fun, and really cool, like you're saying. I am still not sold on maybe some of the casting. Like, some of the casting feels like it's a big name to get a big name, and not necessarily like a great voiceover cast. But I do think this trailer is better than the first.
Yeah.
It's a thumbs up for me on the trailer. I'm still maybe like right in here for like, am I really excited about this movie? I'm hoping, kind of early impressions, or like it's like could be a fun. I don't know if it's rated yet, but like I would love if I could take Claire to it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm hoping that it.
Man, if this is PG-13. I would not believe that. PG-13 animated is usually pretty violent.
Yeah. It's usually I feel like that's a fairly niche set of
Those are
films.
usually direct to video stuff.
Yeah.
Like the DC animated movies are usually PG-13. Now they like to do R stuff, which is kind of becoming very annoying, but like, ooh.
But yeah, Transformers
were
1.
edgy.
I like this trailer.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun.
Yep.
The thing that kind of, I'm still kind of with you on the voice acting because it does feel weird. That's like Chris Hemsworth and Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah.
But like, there's the bit where old Optimus talks, and it doesn't sound like Chris Hemsworth.
Mhm.
It might still be him.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, if I can just put in my mind that yes, this is a young, unseasoned, green Optimus.
Right.
It's like, okay, I just need to remember that. We're baby robots right now. We haven't had to replace the transmission and suspension in our Transformer bodies. Yeah, I'm excited for it now. It gave me like Spider-Verse vibes, which I loved. All right, this is a big trailer. This is a big one.
Big one.
This is a big one.
All right.
Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power,
This was
Season 2.
a big trailer, and not just like big in that like it showed like it was long. It's
Three
like
and a
a
half.
3.5 minute trailer.
Yeah.
I just kind of kept going. I was like, all right. And the more I saw of it, the more I liked.
Dude,
but this is the vibe I wanted from season 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like a huge step up,
Yes.
which probably means every episode was $50 million.
Oh, probably. Some
Or
ridiculous amount of money.
Something crazy. But like the trailer started, they're talking, they're doing their thing. Rings, woo. I was like, okay, this looks all right.
Mm-hmm.
This looks all right. This looks good. This looks really good. Like the more and more it kept going, I was just like, this looks epic.
Yeah.
Um,
It just feels bigger in every sense.
yeah.
From, we talked a little bit about, like, even the big battle in season 1 was, for me, disappointing. I was like, I just felt like, okay, they're bringing 3 ships, and it kind of felt like a little skirmish, and then there was the, Mount Doom eruption, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But this feels like, okay, no, we mean business.
Like, yeah.
And
Even Elrond's in the thick of it.
oh yeah, dude, that horse charge.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
We saw the Balrog tearing up, what's that place called? Khazad-dûm?
Khazad-dûm?
Yeah.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got friggin' horse charges. We've got Sauron the Deceiver as I can't remember.
He's just messing with Celebrimbor.
Yeah. We've
He's
got
like, no, you're building me rings.
we've got Ents and Ent
Oh, yeah.
wives. And friggin' Tom Bombadil, and like Tom has like 3 lines in the trailer, and I'm instantly just in love with this guy.
You liked him?
Yes.
Okay.
Big thumbs up.
I don't know anything about him, so I'm just kind of fine with whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, if he
no,
puts
that
in a good
makes sense.
performance, I'm fine with it. But
Yeah.
So okay, I'm glad you like that.
Big thumbs up from what we've
That
seen.
makes me feel
it could be
good.
a trailer cut thing, but like, no,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm just curious to see what's out there, because that's gonna be a new place for Middle Earth, Eastern Earth, Middle Earth.
out in the Rune.
I have no idea. I guess like we've been in southern Middle Earth where like Mordor and such is, but it was not volcano-y yet.
Yeah, Rune. I don't know how to pronounce it. Rhun. The U has a little arrow over the top of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very in Tolkien's in things like the Silmarillion and some of his writings. It's not mentioned a lot, and what is mentioned,
Vague.
maybe feels a little racist, and like it's was written in a different time and different sensibilities.
Is it
and-
like the desert?
yeah,
kind of stereotype?
Yeah, but at the same time, it just wasn't that fully fleshed out either. So I think there's a lot of reading into it, on a very surface level. But yeah, I'm, and that's one of the reasons I'm excited for the series to go there, is to be like, hey, this is an opportunity, and the show has done, I think, a pretty good job for the most part of expanding things like diversity and making this a story that all people can find inspiring and relate to, And yeah, it's
Yeah.
not just a, I don't know, in today's world, right? Like when everyone's like, there's a whole thing about if you like Lord of the Rings, it's Lord of the Rings really popular with like alt-right groups and things like that, and it's like no. that's the Lord of the Rings is for everyone, and I just think the show has done a good job and looks like it's continuing to do a really good job and having a fun time hopefully with embracing some of that vagueness and bringing more aspects of our world into the world of Middle Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So
that comes out August 29th.
the first
1 month.
3 episodes or first 2 episodes
No, I
drop.
don't know.
I don't know. It's not all at once. Obviously, it'll be week to
Oh,
week.
exactly 1 month. It is currently the 29th.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, the first 2 or 3 episodes will drop on the 29th, and then it'll be a weekly series after that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're, if you need to do a rewatch, depending on how fast you go, you have a month of to rewatch the first season. Now's a great time to get started on that.
I could probably.
We're gonna
do
be
that.
starting that next week
Nice.
after House of the Dragon finishes.
Finishes, yeah. All right, next trailer we got. We got a new trailer for The Penguin.
Yes.
This show looks really good too.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with this. It looks Sopranos in Gotham.
Yeah, very much so, right? Yeah. No, I think I was definitely skeptical when DC has kind of announced some of these quote-unquote spin-off series. This one looks like it hits a really high bar, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in terms of...
I feel like Matt Reeves kind of has an own personal bar. He's like, okay, it's got to clear this
Right.
in the writing stage before we start it.
Yeah, because this was one he had written... He wrote it, right? He wrote this and the Gotham...
No, it's...
I know he wrote the Gotham PD one that is not
That
getting
isn't
made.
moved forward, yeah.
But yeah, the fact that this ties in right at the end of the Batman and it leads right into the Batman 2, I think that's very cool and will kind of help. Again, because of the quality, right? Like, it's not like, no one, my wife would hate me if she heard me say this, right? But, like, it's not like you're going from Man of Steel to watching a CW show to watching Batman v Superman and like it all being the same story, right? Like you're watching the Batman, you're watching the Penguin, you're watching the Batman 2, and it's all at this caliber. And I think, as we've said before, like there is value in the CW shows. We might poke at them every once in a while, but they're some of them at least are good in their own right.
Yeah,
enjoyable and. Huge fan bases, so
IMDb does not really have a lot listed for its credits.
Okay.
It only for directing it only has Craig Zobel for 3 episodes.
3 episodes.
And then for writers, it has Bill Finger and Bob Kane, who are just invented the Penguin, and Lauren LaFranc. Unknown episodes. So
cool.
Not a whole lot of information there.
All right. Well, nice.
But yeah, this is looking really good. I love how dark it is. I think Colin Farrell is super excited that he gets to smoke.
Yeah.
What's her name? Kristen Milioti, who's playing Sophia Falcone.
Oh yeah.
I think she's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I couldn't just look at her name right here. I think that's her name. Yeah, Kristen Milioti. That feels like a different role for her too. Mainly, I guess the last thing I saw her in was Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Which is very different.
Very different.
But yeah, I'm really excited. Plus, I can just never get over how good the Colin Farrell makeup looks. I think I'll never get over it until the character is dead in like the Batman 3 or something.
Right. Till we just don't see him for 5 years.
Until Jason Todd shows up and takes him out. And Batman's like, who's this Red Hood guy?
Any other trailers? Surely we got a few
yes.
more.
I got 2 more. We got the first look at James Gunn's Creature Commandos.
That's right.
Our first peek into what his DC universe is going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
This is an animated project. Comes out in December, so we finally got a date for it. Or did we know that?
I feel like we knew that.
We might have known that.
Yeah, I think we did.
No exact date yet, just December. But I think this looks really fun. It is very, very similar to his Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Suicide Squad. Don't want to confuse that one with the one that won Oscars, you know.
True. It's not the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad.
But man, I think this looks like a ton of fun, and I think it's really cool that like Viola Davis is there voicing Waller, and
Yeah.
the rest of the cast is going to be reprising the roles in live action if they ever come up. And it's
Yeah.
like Frank Grillo and David Harbour, and so that's super cool.
That is very cool.
I'm very excited for that. This isn't a trailer, but it was just a clip of Batman Caped Crusader.
Yeah.
This is the new Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams animated series coming out on Prime Video. That's so weird.
So weird. But
I can't believe.
looks good.
I can't believe WB was like, we don't want our own character on our own service. But yeah, the clip for this was awesome. The Batman voice, I think, is perfect. I think it's maybe the best Batman voice we've gotten maybe since Conroy. Like, other than
Maybe,
Conroy's
yeah.
the best. And then I'm really excited to see what else. What's his name? It's a guy from Midnight Mass.
Oh. Yeah, I
Like Mitch or something? Or Hamish.
Hamish
Linklater.
Linklater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his voice is great.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very excited. The clip was vintage Batman, you know,
Mm-hmm.
doing as much torture as we can to a guy without killing him or scaring him to death. And then getting the info.
Yep.
So I'm very excited. That comes out on Thursday, August 1st. Let's go.
Woohoo!
I'm very excited. Currently at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Who we know is rigged or whatever, right?
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
rigged.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that kind of got through our trailers. There are obviously other things that dropped at Comic-Con that, you know, we may not have mentioned trailer wise. We're sorry. But we're here just to kind of cover some of the big stuff, things we're interested in. So if there is something we missed and you want our thoughts on it, hit us up in the chat. News-wise, the big one.
Their ball bearings haven't jumped. Sorry, that's a little comment.
The big one, right, is we are talking about Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. We got confirmation that the Russo brothers are back to direct both of those films. So both the next Avengers films coming out in 2026 and 2027. So doing the Infinity War Endgame thing where they're a year apart.
Let me tell you, that is a really quick turnaround because they're starting this movie over with a new writer.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Michael Waldron's gone.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, especially because it's
I have something else to hate now.
McFeely is
Yeah.
at least one of the credited. He's the confirmed credited writer right now.
Man, what
Which
if,
I
what
does
if he's
give
the
me
bad one in the group?
it
It's
does
like,
give me hope. Yeah, it's true. You never know, right?
It's like he's the one that has all the ideas, and the other one is like, okay, now let's like cut out and put it into a story,
right. Yeah.
and like they just work really well together. Like, which one did we get? So it's either gonna have no ideas or
all the ideas.
all the
But
ideas
no,
and make no
no
sense.
plot. So that was the kind of in setting up the whole Avengers stuff. The big casting announcement is obviously with Avengers Doomsday. We are getting Doctor Doom, or a version of Doctor Doom. Luke, who's playing Doctor Doom?
It's Robert Downey Jr. F my freaking life, dude.
So there's
I'm going full heel on the MCU.
Yeah.
I'm so out now. And I'm not even gonna lie. This is one of the reasons I didn't go see Deadpool.
because it was just
This is legit. Like, okay, when I watch movies and I get frustrated or mad about stuff, most of the time I just kind of get over it
yeah.
pretty quick. I'd say the one where I didn't was Last Jedi. That one took a little longer.
Sure.
I feel like this one will probably last a while, maybe forever, because I just, at this point, when they announce this, I just kind of don't care anymore. Because I don't think they care anymore.
I think my comment to you and Tyler was this feels like a Hail Mary throw from Marvel, like
It is the most
from the directors, right? Like bringing back the
You know what it reminds me of?
Avengers directors,
Something that Disney has done before.
Yeah.
This is the Rise of Skywalker.
You're not wrong.
They're going back to the original director,
the OG
the
villain,
big star.
Yeah, star villain. Right. Yeah.
Like,
it's a character versus an actor here, but yeah,
this is such a huge Hail Mary of desperation. We're on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And we're going for a touchdown, even though we're down by 20.
Yeah.
It's like, we already lost.
JT says, I told Tyler that this pick was uninspired. Yes, it reminds me.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It reminds me a lot of the Fantastic Four Pedro Pascal.
Not me.
Hire.
This is so much worse.
I said it reminds me, not that they're
okay,
equivalent, but just in the sense of, like, it feels like a safe choice to make fans happy. Like, Pedro is a hot actor right now, right? Robert Downey Jr. is a beloved actor in this franchise. I don't know how you bring him back as a villain in a way that is satisfying to audiences, but that's the challenge that the writers are going to have with this.
So they have 3 options, and none of them are good. This is my opinion, obviously. But in my opinion, they're all stupid options. Option 1. You cast RDJ as Doom. And you know what? You do normal Doom. You don't show his face. You do the normal thing.
But why do you...
But why cast
Why
Robert
cast
Downey Jr.?
Robert Jr.?
You're
Yeah,
going to have to
yeah.
pay him $50 million to do this movie.
Right.
Option 2. They cast him and they do show his face, and it just asks the question, why is this person somebody we've already known?
Yeah.
And they just ignore the question. And it's just a question that could have been avoided if you casted 99% of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the last option, which is obviously the worst option, he's a Tony Stark variant, and that seems like what they're going for. Nobody likes the multiverse storyline. People are tired of variants. They don't have rules for variants. They just do whatever they want. I just keep going back to desperate. They have no idea what to do. They have no idea.
It really does feel like that. Yeah. They've and from, was it just a year or was it 2 years ago when they announced, like, Kang Dynasty was going to be before Secret Wars?
Why is it so hard to recast King?
Why-
And you know what? It hasn't worked great. But you know what? Find a different writer.
And I feel like you could take that and, I'm no Marvel comics, I'm not a buff on I don't really know those stories that well. But I do think, kind of what you mentioned, people are kind of tired of already multiverse stuff. There hasn't been a ton of it, but we're already like,
I mean, it doesn't help when none of it's really good or interesting.
Yeah, but I do think there's still an avenue to have Kang be your big bad. You can play with the multiverse stuff just enough. I mean, Deadpool did it, and it's been well received. I don't think the multiverse stuff in it is.
It's whatever.
It's whatever,
Yeah.
but you can at least use it. Loki season 2 was well received.
Yeah. Maybe we should watch it. Just to bump up the.
But I agree with you, Luke. I don't know why you don't just try and recast
you know why?
that.
This is a Marvel trend though. They refuse to recast.
They do. It's
It's
true.
This is, I think, been
Don Cheadle was like the only one, right? That's not true, but it's like the biggest one.
well, and Hulk, but that was way back in the day. At this point now,
Yeah, both of those were very early MCU.
they were only paying them $100,000 at that point. But like, this has now become a frustrating problem in the MCU, and I think it kind of. Listen, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But when they refused to just recast him, it put the actor above the character and the story, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just kills your movie from the start.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's probably a bad
Turn of phrase.
there. It hurts your movie from the start.
Yeah.
And you can't do it.
Well,
if your
and
characters in your story are non-existent, what's the point of the movie?
Narrows the potential outcomes too. Like, right, like the whole conversation around then Black Panther 2 was, okay, well, who's going to be Black Panther?
Yeah.
And that's all the movie became was, in the first act, okay, it's going to be Shuri. And then you're committed to doing that,
And
whether
then they
or not
showed her in the trailer.
whether or not your actress or actor is up for it, right? Like,
And she wasn't terrible.
I didn't think she was bad, but like, hey,
But it limited
How
you
are
to
you-
that one thing.
yeah. I
And
don't
then
know. They've gotten too
and
it's gotten too big.
what do? We need somebody to play this iconic villain. Let's just bring back the person that everybody loves.
Yeah.
That will really throw a ruckus in this building. And hey, listen, thankfully, lots of Marvel fans are kind of upset. Oh, I'd say it's pretty 30, 40.
I have no idea what the statistics
20,
are.
40.
I have seen quite a bit of disappointment or confusion. Day of, there was a lot of hype around it, but since then, I think people are like sitting back and thinking, "Oh, wait, what? How is this gonna work?" And again, like, it's not their job necessarily today to tell us how it's going to work, but that's a big hill you have to climb, in your movie. Supposedly they have 2 movies to do it, I guess, between Doomsday and Secret Wars, but
And
you've
it's
got to
just-
make that compelling.
The other part why it's confusing is because Doom has never been done properly in the first place.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the need to taint it before it's even been written. Like, starting on step 0. We haven't even opened the instruction booklet yet, and the crib ain't going to be able to be built.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it feels over.
Yeah.
Obviously, they can write a good script or a decent script. They can get in good special effects artists, choreograph good fight scenes, and it can be entertaining.
I do think...
But I think the story is kind of DOA.
Yeah.
That might just be me, though.
No, I mean, I have concerns. I do think RDJ is a good enough actor that if he's given a good script, like, he could make that character interesting. I don't know. Again, not a huge fan of Fantastic Four, of Doom. Like, it might work for someone like me and it not work at all for you still.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have some good ingredients. My fear is that it's just we're baking the same cake that we made 6 years ago. at the end of the day. It would just with different color frosting. We want green frosting instead of purple. So.
Or green instead of red.
Well,
Or red. Now he's wearing green.
I was going with the villain was purple.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you.
We did get a little bit of Fantastic Four news. We got a subtitle.
Dude, I was very excited with this movie, and now I just don't even care about it anymore.
It's called The First Steps.
I'm like legit so
Luke's done with Marvel. So
dead inside.
We're just
because
gonna
of
let
this
Brett talk for the
stupid
next 5 minutes. There was the There was the Galactus drone show. We all knew Galactus was gonna be the big bad here.
I think they showed like a baby trailer.
There's a little like test footage.
I
or
saw
proof
their
of concept
astronaut
thing.
suits or whatever, the leaked images.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
I'm still.
I think some of the aesthetic stuff is really neat.
Still a huge fan of 60s retro,
Yeah.
futuristic New York. I think that's super cool.
Yep.
I just can't wait for the post-credit scene when it's RDJ.
Yeah, what do you do? Because they definitely like already. That's not just a post-credit scene anymore. That cat's out of the bag.
Oh, it will be the post-credit scene. It'll just be the costume reveal.
Yeah, that's fair.
It'll be the exact same reveal as Thanos. He's gonna turn his head around, except this time he's. What if he just does what he did on stage, where he just takes off the mask?
Takes off the mask. Oh my gosh.
Does this RDJ pose? Man, if freaking Doom throws up peace signs and wears freaking
Over in
Ray-Ban
the
sunglasses,
chat,
I'm gonna lose it.
JT says, "What sucks is that RDJ is that guy now. That is even the Chris Evans problem in making meta commentary in the new Captain America movie. It sucks. Well, yeah. I mean, I do think that kind of like we were talking about it. It feels like it's a conversation more about the actor and not the character.
Yeah,
and
actors are more important to them than the character.
Than the character, and yeah, that's
somebody right now is trying to figure out how to cast Glenn Powell in any of the movies they're writing. I guarantee you, in the next year, we're gonna have a Glenn Powell casting.
Yeah,
Glenn Powell's great, but he's the it guy right now.
Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll just get a post-credit scene, just like with Harry Styles, that just doesn't go anywhere. Fingers crossed.
Maybe they'll just cancel every Marvel movie, and then I won't even have to deal with it.
You won't have to be mad. What would that be like?
Dude.
That might make you sad.
No. I think I would cheer and maybe cry with joy. It'd be so amazing.
Baroque says, I wish Glenn would pick better movies. I think he's going to...
I like the movies he's picked. The two I've seen have been a lot of fun.
I think
only two, but...
Yeah.
Oh, he was in The Dark Knight? He was in Top Gun? There's 4 right there. Or Dark Knight 3. Or Dark Knight Rises. There's 4 right there. 4 banger movies.
4 banger movies.
And the other 2 are Hitman and Twisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fair. Yeah. I don't know.
He should just do a weird A24 movie.
I think well, he's gonna give him another 2 years. He'll be the leading man in a couple more blockbuster things. He'll have all the money he could ever want, and then he'll do some weird A24 thing, and we'll be like, oh yeah, look, he's not just a.
He's
pretty
got
face.
Top Gun 2.
He does have Top Gun 2
or Top Gun 3.
Oh, it would be
Top Gun 3, Top Gun Maverick 2.
Yeah,
dude, I hope they call it Top Gun Maverick 2. What was his name in that movie? Fanboy?
Was he Fanboy?
No, that was the different guy. I don't remember. Top Gun Maverick.
Good question.
Glenn Powell. Hangman.
Top Gun Hangman?
Dude, I have not seen that movie since theaters. I need to watch it again because that movie was epic.
Were there any other Marvel things that needed to be mentioned?
I didn't write any
Okay.
down.
I was just gonna say I have kind of a list here. I was gonna go through some a little more rapid fire. The BioShock film at Netflix is still in the works. It's being reconfigured.
Oh, that's at Netflix?
Yeah, it's at Netflix. So basically, it's gonna be scaled back. Gonna be a more a cheaper show.
Good. We like this. We like
more
this.
personal, and I'm happy with that. Oh, Thunderbolts. Oh, there was some Thunderbolts news.
That's right.
JT mentions Thunderbolts over there.
They're making it, or they made it. I think it's done. They're just in post prod.
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts asterisk, right?
I think there may have been some footage that was shown there, but not to anyone else.
Not for us normal people.
Not for us normies, which probably means it'll be out in like 2 weeks.
No. It'll leak probably.
Everything.
Us
leaks.
normal people watching the Olympics. I'd rather watch the Olympics 10 out of 10 times though.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, there was some Thunderbolts news. Sorry, JT. What else you got, Luke?
From San Diego Comic-Con, to just kind of keep it in the same
Yes.
area, we got the announcement of a new Boys spinoff.
That's right.
It's called Vought Rising
with
and
Jensen Ackles and
the girl who played Stormfront.
the Stormfront.
So it's Soldier Boy and Stormfront. JT, tell me about it. Tell me how you're excited, because I don't care. I have not watched Gen Z.
I'm more excited.
And I haven't watched
Gen V.
Gen V. And I haven't watched the new season yet.
I'm more
so-
excited for this than I am for Gen V or Gen V Season 2. And I think it's just, I know, I am comfortable. I like Jensen Ackles as an actor.
Mhm.
I don't know.
They're both great as their characters.
Yeah.
But, man, they're both, like,
It could be.
evil.
Well, JT says it could be interesting, but it will be full of racist stuff because they're both incredibly racist characters.
That is not wrong. I'm curious, like, who's the hero?
Right.
Because you have to have one good person in a show, or else it's just too much.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be your Huey, or your who's the best person in the Boys?
Probably Hugh.
Probably Mother's Milk. Let's
Yeah,
be
man.
real.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
At least in seasons 1 through 3, it was him.
It
maybe.
was. Yeah.
He just wants to meet. He just wants to go home to his daughter, man. I need to watch that 4th season.
I just finished it. I can talk about
good?
it in a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll
it was
find
good.
out in a little bit.
It was good.
So I think this is very interesting. Two kind of similar but different video game things. There's another video game union forming.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write down who it was. Tyler sent it. Do you remember?
It was on Twitter.
Yeah. And the other thing was video game voice actors are going on strike against AI, which is awesome. I'm honestly all for that. Because we don't need AI invading video games like that. I know, like, some video games, like, obviously already use AI, but we don't need it to replace the voice actors.
Right.
The actual devs.
I don't know why I'm not seeing it in this thread. Oh, maybe did he message it to us?
I thought he did. I'll just Google video game union.
I don't know. Real quick, we haven't talked about it yet. Silo Season 2 will be on November. Will premiere on November.
Was it Blizzard?
Yes.
Okay.
Activision Blizzard.
I think it was Activision Blizzard,
is. Yes.
And Microsoft was like,
It's like cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other one was Bethesda too. So it's the Microsoft company.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, Microsoft fired everybody. We need to form unions.
Yep.
Which is good.
But yeah, a show that Luke and I both really like, Silo Season 2 is coming November 15.
Let's go, baby.
On Apple TV.
Let's
So
go.
That's exciting.
Just never even really, like, it was real quick. It's like, yeah, season 2's happening. And then boom, season 2 is arriving. I had some other things. The disc. No, the dish. I read that wrong. The Dish. This is Steven Spielberg's next movie.
Oh yeah.
It's his UFO film, and it's gonna star Emily Blunt, let's go, baby. We're so back.
Luke is
We are so back.
hyped.
Most anticipated movie. When does it come out? May 2026. That's gonna be my most anticipated movie of that year, maybe.
I'm right there with you.
I don't remember. Well, I guess the Batman is coming out that year.
That year.
Batman Part 2.
Yeah.
What else will be coming out that year? Avengers Doomsday. F that noise.
Potentially a Dune movie. Potentially Dune Messiah.
We might bump that one to 27.
I have a feeling it'll get bumped, but I think it's slotted for 26.
It is also starring Josh O'Connor, who's
Wow.
great. He was most recently in the tennis movie, Challengers. And I know him from The Crown. Because he was the Prince of Wales, and I freaking hated his guts, man. I don't hate the king, but gosh dang it, just in The Crown, you really hate him. He's so good at it. So I'm really, really excited for that movie. I'll always be excited for Spielberg though. So.
Oh, heck yeah.
Especially if it's a friggin' alien movie, baby. Let's go.
Right? Ugh, give me some more, Close Encounters of a Third Kind vibe.
I need to rewatch Nope again, too.
Yeah, I do too. I liked that movie a lot.
Me
I
too.
Need to rewatch it though. This week we got our first look at the Disney Plus Hulu Max bundle. So we've officially entered the era of all of the services trying to be like, I guess we'll take a couple dollars less if we can,
So more.
get people to hop on as a big group.
Are any of the... I asked this in the group chat and nobody responded. Because I didn't read the article.
I'll respond now, maybe?
Are any of them restricted? Because they're the ad versions.
There's ad and ad free.
Okay.
Versions of
Do the ad
both.
versions have less stuff?
I don't.
Because
I think the ad versions it's exactly like an ad version now. So if the ad version of Disney Plus doesn't have something now, it just has a standalone, I don't know why it wouldn't suddenly be unlocked with the other.
I think the ad version of HBO does have less. I don't know though, because I don't have the ad version of that.
We have the ad version of HBO, and I haven't noticed anything, but that we may not be looking at the right stuff.
Maybe that was just the day one release thing back in COVID.
During COVID,
but the reason I asked because the Netflix Apple one does have less because their Netflix ad version is restricted. You can't watch everything on it.
How dare they?
Yeah, it's dumb.
That's so rude.
Side note, Disney Plus, get your freaking ads under control and stop putting them in the middle of conversations of the show.
Yeah, that's the one we don't have
It is ridiculous.
ads on yet.
Oh, dude. They need to figure that out. But yeah, I might have to switch to that because I do have all those services. But I'm not going to keep Disney Plus Hulu all the time. And I really do like having HBO with no ads. I'm on HBO probably more than any other service.
Yeah. We're kind of Netflix is our most used, and then HBO is probably right after that, and then Disney Plus just because we got a kid.
Yeah.
She likes
Prime
those,
is my.
She likes those Bluey. I have been on Prime a lot recently, though.
Prime is my most used, but it's because I use everything else with Prime, including the video.
Mm-hmm.
The video is just a bonus.
Yeah.
But too many streamers, man. Remember when Hulu was free? Remember when Spotify was free? Did you know Spotify is more expensive than Apple Music now?
Yeah, dude, Spotify's...
Did you know that...
yeah, and I have a Spotify family account, so tell me about it.
Dude, I just think it's funny because Spotify was the option because it was cheaper. But Apple Music has better sound quality. They have the same music. And they pay the artist more.
Yeah.
So, and now it's cheaper.
We need to
So
switch. But
Maybe it's time to switch, folks.
maybe it is.
Dude, I love Apple Music. I think it's great,
Yeah.
but nobody uses it. Just me.
Just you.
And my brother.
You got any other news?
Do I? Let me go through this. Nope. I'm done. I can hate on Marvel some more. Just talking about how tired I am of RDJ. Oh, actually, I do want to. This is just like about the memes that were coming out
Oh yeah.
about it. I think the best one, and it was just the clip from Oppenheimer, and it was Albert Einstein walking next to what's his character's name? He was
I don't know,
like
that
passing RDJ.
Senator, congressman, yeah.
Yeah, and he's passing him, and he just doesn't acknowledge RDJ at all in that movie. And he's like, "Oh, why is this guy pissed at me?" And he goes up to Oppenheimer to ask him, "What did you say to him?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And the caption was just Nolan walking by RDJ when he signs back on to make superhero movies. Oh, I thought that one was great.
Yep.
Perfect use.
Yep. Indeed.
The memes of that have been so funny, though. I've been loving it. They like are a calming presence in a
In a weary world.
terrifying storm.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but really the only other thing I did this week was finish The Boys season 4. I think The Boys season 4 is like a low fanboy worthy for me. I think I liked it about the same, maybe a little better. I can't remember what I rated season 3, but I felt like season 3 was a little bit of a quality dip. This one is either still right there or maybe a little better. It's trying, by the end, you definitely know it's trying to wrap up the story. Like, it's obvious going into season 5 that there's one more season. But I do think it does some interesting things. It does some stuff that I think the last couple episodes are probably a little like we're rushing to the finish line pacing wise. There's like a kind of a side story or one of the main kind of plots is this plot against the president-elect, and it just kind of feels like we rushed to get there. It's more or less the whole thing, like the whole plot is stretched out over the course of the season, but like it ties itself up in a nice, neat little bow for the most part with some of the characters right there at the end of the season. There's also a storyline that involves like a shape-shifting character, which is...
It's the Starlight plot, isn't it?
Yeah, which is just, it's revealed and then it's done. And it's like, I feel like we could have spent more time having fun with this. But let's see, in the chat, JT says, Frenchie and Kimiko side story was weird, but still happy they got their moments. Yeah, I do think the stuff with both of them, kind of felt like just really guilt heavy this season in terms of we want our characters to feel bad all the time. Especially with those two, and they did have some good moments. Those two are always so fun. They have a very interesting relationship, and their dynamic is I feel like really unique in the sense of the sense of the boys. And so there's some good stuff there, but yeah, there is some... weird is a good way of putting it, JT. Some of it didn't feel as deep as it maybe wanted to be, and instead just kind of felt like, oh, we need to have our characters, upset or depressed or and we're not necessarily going to do the hard work of getting there in a way that feels earned, but we're just going to get them there.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
not as deep as the Deep. I actually really like the Deep in this season. The Deep has been a character for at least kind of after the first season, like seasons 2 and 3. The Deep is just kind of this like punching bag character.
But you kind of like to see him.
But you
Get
kind of
punched?
like him. But he gets a little more of a spine in this season, and his character is way more interesting. Yeah, overall, I think all of the the members of the Seven have really interesting and stories. Homelander's may be the least interesting, but that's basically because he's trying to run VOT at this point, and at the same time, like how to gain more power, but not trust anyone on your way of doing it. Like that's a lot, and being an awful dad. Poor Ryan.
Of course.
Oh, poor Ryan. But yeah. Yeah, so
Hey,
I give it a fanboy worthy.
He made his choice
He made his choice.
at the end of season 3.
Yeah, I still give it a fanboy worthy. I think it's maybe a lower fanboy worthy. But really excited for season 5. Still maybe not as excited about those spin-offs, but excited for this story to kind of come to its conclusion, and yeah, excited to see more. So that's about all I did.
Sweet.
You just watched. Oh, I guess the Olympics have only been on for like 4 days. So.
They've only been on for 4 days,
You-
which is crazy because I feel like I've consumed years worth of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I watched the opening. I even watched some of it. Maybe Thursday or something, because soccer and rugby both start before the opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
Because they just have so many games to play. But yeah, I watched the opening ceremonies, and on Saturday and Sunday, all I did was watch Olympics. But after the opening ceremony, mainly because I was let down by it, and I was like, well, I guess I should do something, since there's actually no games going on right now. I got on Netflix, and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was on there, and I liked Ghostbusters. What was the first one called? Oh, I loved it so much, I guess. Legacy?
Oh, what was it?
What was it? Oh my gosh.
Ghostbusters. Like it wasn't like Resurrections or something, was it?
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
I liked Ghostbusters Afterlife. I thought it was surprisingly heartwarming in its story, and I liked the new characters. Frozen Empire it's Ghostbusters too. It's really dumb, and it's not great. You know what? It's not good. I don't think I'd ever call it good. But you know what? I had fun watching it.
All right.
I think it's a fine movie to watch on Netflix. If I would say whatever you think about Ghostbusters 2, this will probably match it. Like, I think Ghostbusters 2 is fun, but you watch it, you're just like, okay, this is kind of stupid. And it's like the same thing. Kumail Nanjiani's character is so goofy. I don't think they need the legacy cast. I don't think you need Bill Murray.
Yeah.
He's only in 2 scenes. And he's funny. Bill Murray's always funny.
Yeah.
But I think they can just lean on their new cast and they'll be fine. So, if this gets a third one, I don't think it will. I don't think either one of these has made enough money. I'd say just stick with the characters you got. I give it a Matthew McConaughey. I think I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. I think it's just like, you know what, it's fun. I had fun watching it. I wanted to see it in theaters. I just never got around to it. I think I would have liked it in theaters too. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Nice.
The other thing that I've been doing more earlier in the week was, and I talked about it last week, I've been playing Dungeons of Hindenburg.
Yes.
last week I'd only done like 4 dungeons maybe, so it's just like baby steps into it.
Yeah.
Now I've done like definitely more than 10. I think I've done around 12 to 15. I don't remember exactly. I haven't played in a while because Olympics. It is a blast. And the more you play it, the more invested you get. I love the gameplay loop, which is you do 3 things. You wake up and you always talk to somebody and they're like, "Where are you going?" That's the first thing you do. And then you pick a place where you want to go. And then you go to that place and you either do a dungeon or you like sit and look at a lake and time passes. Second part done. Then you spend an evening in the city and you go talk to characters around the world. You buy stuff from the shops. And eventually you kind of pick one and you level them up.
Okay.
And there's so many different ones you can do, and they all level up something different of like the 5 little stats you got, but then you level up like what they sell you or items that they'll give you. And so you can kind of choose like, oh, do I want to do this guy who can remove goo from my equipment that I find so they're stronger?
Right.
Or do I want to talk to the shopkeeper so I can get more special moves? Do I want to talk to this person so I can get charms? Like, there's just so many options. And sometimes, like, you can go to a campfire and multiple people will be there and it'll just level up all of their little stats for you. And it is really addicting. The music is awesome. It's not hard. It's as hard as you want it to be. So, like, if you want a... I haven't played at the difficulty. But, like, there's a hard action mode. And I'm assuming it's a little more in-depth with what you have to do when you're fighting. But, like, me, no, I just kind of button mash.
Yeah.
I'm usually fine. I haven't died once.
Nice.
It's just really enjoyable to play. And, yeah, the music is just kind of always in the background, and it's super relaxing. I think it's great, man. Once Olympics slow down, I'm looking forward to playing it more. I'm not as big fan of the track and field stuff, so when track and field becomes a bigger part, I'll probably put that on one TV, and then I'll have Hindenburg on
There you go.
my main TV.
Perfect.
Yep.
Cool. Well, sounds like a lot of fun.
It's really fun, man. I need to listen to the soundtrack separately, because I think I'd vibe with it.
Cool. All right. Well, Tyler, we don't know what he's done this week, so I guess next week we'll get a double dose of... No, all he's done is play college football.
Didn't he go somewhere? Or was that last week?
It was last week. He was down in...
He went and picked up his kid at daycare and got sick. That's
Yeah.
what he did.
Yeah. Is that the real lesson here tonight? Don't have kids. They'll make you sick.
Or don't take him to daycare.
Dude, daycare and it's just school. I'm prepared in like 3 weeks to just be sick because my kid's going back to school. But
Blech.
yeah. All right. Thank you all for tuning in this week. Watching here live on Twitch. JT and Baroque, thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, appreciate your viewership. But yeah, next week, hopefully we'll be back to give a proper review of Deadpool 2 and maybe some other things. So, yeah. Oh, well, we'll have to talk about House of the Dragon.
Oh, yeah, finale.
Finales this next week. So,
Hopefully it's good.
we'll be there. But until then, we'll see ya.
Goodbye.